Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be presenting an academic journal titled A Political Economy of Communications Analysis of PR News, Intern Status, Skills, and Conflict Within the Public Relations Industry by Joseph Giamboni. As a public relations student, I am interested in this article because internships play a major role in helping students enter this profession. The study examines how public relations industry talks about interns, what skills are expected from them, and how internship programs have changed over time. The study was published in 2025 in the journal Public Relations Inquiry. To find this article, I searched through the Sage Journals, which is one of the databases recommended for communication research. I used search terms such as public relations, communications, PR industry, and I selected this article because it directly relates to my major and explores an issue that many students will experience as they prepare themselves to enter the workforce. Internships are often viewed as a pathway into a career, so I wanted to learn more about how the PR industry views interns and internship programs. We're going to start off with the author of this article. His name is Joseph Giamboni. He is an assistant professor of the communications at Susquehanna University and earned his doctorate at Temple University. Before becoming a professor, he worked in public relations for 14 years as an assistant director of public relations at King's College. His research focuses mainly on public relations, digital labor, internships, and crisis communication. Because of both of his academic and professional experience, he is highly qualified to study internship programs of the PR industry. Before this study, researchers have examined internships from several different perspectives. Many studies focus on student satisfaction, mentorship, opportunities, and professional development. Other researchers began asking more critical questions, such as whether internships sometimes take advantage of students by using them as inexpensive labor. The author noticed that very little research has examined how the PR industry itself talks about interns. Specifically, he wanted to understand how industry publications shape expectations about interns and their roles within the organizations. The study focuses on two main research questions. The first question being, how has the PR industry changed the way it uses its interns? And the second question, how do PR industry publications shape perceptions about managers and interns? In simple terms, the researcher wants to understand how the industry views interns and whether those views have changed over the years. We're going to move on to methodology. This was a qualitative study. Instead of collecting survey responses or conducting experiments, this researcher used a method called textual analysis. Textual analysis means carefully examining written content to identify patterns, themes, and messages. The researcher analyzed 55 different articles from PR News, a trade publication that provides information and advice to public relation professionals. These articles were published between 1999 and 2019 and focused on internships and entry-level employees. This allows the researcher to examine how discussions about interns evolved over nearly 25 years. How the study worked. The researcher first collected all internship-related articles from the PR News. Coding means identifying repeated words, themes, and ideas within the text. After analyzing all of 55 articles, he grouped similar ideas together and identified major patterns. Using a method called grounded theory, he developed themes that explained how the PR industry talked about interns and internship programs. This process helped reveal larger trends in the industry over time. The first major finding was that internships changed significantly over time. Before the economic recession of the early 2000s, internships were often viewed as a way to recruit and develop future employees. However, after the recession, some organizations began viewing interns differently. Instead of focusing primarily on development, internships increasingly became a way to reduce costs and complete work that might otherwise have been assigned to entry-level employees. The author argues that the shift changed how interns were viewed in the industry. So before the industry, interns were viewed as training for future employees. They were often assigned a mentor and they were entered in a mentorship program, and they were just developed more professionally. After the recession, interns were mostly seen as cost-saving labor. They were doing more administrative work, and there were fewer full-time positions granted after the internship. Finding number 2 was that industries often send mixed signals to interns. On one hand, students are encouraged to be honest, innovative, entrepreneurial, and build their own personal brand. They were told to develop digital skills, to create content, and contribute ideas. But on the other hand, many internship programs still assign interns routine administrative tasks, such as filling paperwork, organizing information, and completing repetitive office duties. The author argues that these conflicting expectations can create frustration and workplace conflict. Interns may enter an organization expecting creative opportunities, but find themselves performing mostly administrative work. Why does this matter? This study is so important because internships play a major role in preparing future public relation professionals. The findings suggest that organizations should provide meaningful work experiences rather than treating interns as inexpensive labor. The author recommends strong mentorship, better training opportunities, and a professional development program that helps students build real-life skills. As someone who has completed internships and is preparing to enter the PR profession, I found this section especially meaningful because it highlights the importance of creating experiences that genuinely help you grow your skills. Strengths and weaknesses. One strength of this study is that its large time frame. The research examined nearly 25 years of industry publications, which allowed him to identify long-term trends. Another strength is that study focuses on real-world issues that directly affect students and employers. This study also uses a strong theoretical framework and provides detailed examples from industry publications. However, this research only analyzed one publication, PR News. He did not interview interns or employers directly. Because the study is based on textual analysis, the findings rely on the researcher's interpretation of all these articles. Future studies could strengthen these findings by interviewing interns and supervisors about their actual experiences during these internships. Overall, I believe the study is credible and provides value insights into the PR industry. Our main takeaways is that the PR industry often encourages interns to be creative, professional, and innovative, while simultaneously assigning them routine administrative work, giving them mixed signals. The study suggests that organizations should focus on mentorship and meaningful professional development in order to help their students and their interns grow. The author argues that organizations should prioritize these mentorships in order to help these students. Thank you so much, and